Shalom Akim. First and foremost, and give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rachak Kodash. Double honors under the Elders Apostle Great Millstone. The Elders Great Millstone Intercourse. Peace and blessings under the hopeful elect. The sincere servants of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai. Serve him in truth and sincerity. Yes, Northern Brother Chayabo from ZMS Plain Tables Camp. Coming back with another lesson to the Spirit. Yeah, this lesson will be based off this article from nationalnews.com, which is entitled, Economic Crisis. Americans are unprepared for the coming collapse. And as you can see this picture right here, of the dollar burning, with the edit, it says in Z, bankers we trust, or we trusted. And you see the Z word right there. It says the economy is on the brink of collapse with job markets declines, retail sector struggles, and surging inflation, despite government claims of prosperity. Job openings have plummeted, particularly in healthcare, government, and manufacturing, with 78,000 manufacturing jobs lost in the last 3 months, and 85,000 in the past 6 months. Thousands of stores have closed, with major retailers like Party City and Family Dollar nearing bankruptcy, reflecting widespread economic devastation. Rising costs of essential goods like food and housing are straining household budgets, forcing many Americans to cut back on necessities. It says the government has downplayed the crisis, failing to implement effective policies to address job creation, inflation, and manufacturing sector stabilization, risking further economic decline. See, so it's a lot of stuff happening, man. Businesses shutting down, jobs being lost, inflation, the economy collapsing. It says the signs of an impending economic collapse are everywhere. It says, yet the government continues to paint a rosy picture of prosperity. Yeah, telling you that Trump is going to save everything. It says the truth, however, is far grimmer than official reports would have us believe. The data doesn't lie, and the numbers reveal an economy teetering on the edge of disaster. The American people have been misled, and the consequences of this deception will be catastrophic. Yeah, see? And it's only so long, until this place, this place is already fallen, but it's only so long until the whole entire economy just crumbles, man. Which is crumbling as we speak. But they're telling you that Trump, that Trump being in office is gonna save everything. They're telling you, it doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter who's president. It doesn't matter who's running the country. The point is that prophecy will still happen. Is that Babylon Great will fall, which is America. Babylon Great is America according to the scriptures, and the place will fall according to Bible, biblical prophecy. And every single biblical prophecy will come to pass. And all the biblical prophecies that have passed already, guess what? They happened. And they were fulfilled. And the remaining prophecies that the scriptures say, prophesy, all the prophecies, remaining prophecies within the scriptures, guess what? They will be fulfilled 100%. It says the job market, once a pillar of stability, is now crumbling. It says number of jobs or job openings. It says in the United States have plummeted to levels not seen in decades. According to the Bureau labor statistics, there were 7.4 million unfilled jobs at the end of September, a significant drop from the 12 million openings that existed just a few years ago. This decline is particularly alarming in industries that have driven recent job growth, such as healthcare and government. The manufacturing sector, once the backbone of the American economy, has shed 78,000 jobs in the last 3 months alone. These losses are not isolated incidents. Yes, incidents. They are a part of a broader trend that signals a deepening economic crisis. Hey, so there you have it. Skipping down, it says inflation, which has been touted as under control, is surging once again. The cost of essential goods like food and housing continues to strain household budgets, forcing many Americans to cut back on basic necessities just to keep the lights on. A recent survey found that over a third of U.S. households had to reduce spending to afford energy bills. This is not the sign of a healthy economy. It is a symptom of a system in crisis. See? So inflation, again, hey, and it's not gonna get any better, man. And hey, it's gonna get way worse. Inflation. The inflation that we're going through right now isn't gonna be compared, or it can't compare to the inflation that's coming very, very soon. The skyrocketing in inflation that's coming very, very soon. We had a little bit of a glimpse back in, of course, you already know what time, the lockdown period, where you had a water bottle, packs of water costing $50 each. That's coming on a whole nother level. And what the scriptures, the scriptures prophesy all of this. This why, again, through spirit power Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, we know this already. Why? Because the scriptures say so. It says, 2 Ezra chapter 16 and 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows, great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. It says, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when this evil shall come? Because Ezra was being given a vision, and he's literally seeing at the same exact times that we are in currently. The vision that he was being given, we are living through those same exact times. Ezra is seeing the times that we are in right now. Or that's what he was seeing. It says, the beginning of sorrows, great mornings. Yeah, we are in the beginning of sorrows, great mornings, man. A lot of things are happening around the world. Wars, rumors of war. It says the beginning of famine and great death. Yeah, famine is already starting, or it has already started. We're just waiting for the climax. It says, in great death, the beginning of wars, and power shall stand in fear. And hey, you're having great death happening. It just hasn't reached America yet. You're having death. Of course, you already know in the Middle East, there's a lot of death happening as we speak. Of course, the Russia-Ukraine war. Guess what? And that, again, though that doesn't even compare onto the great death that's coming very, very soon. Onto America, once all hell really breaks loose, it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Yeah, by the way, the Yahweh Bashem Shai, who the world ignorantly called God and Jesus, he's the one who's sending all these things. It says, behold, famine and plague and tribulation. Yes, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. See? When you get that word for scourge, it goes back onto the word, or let's go ahead and get it. So when you get that word scourges, it says a whip used as an instrument of punishment. It says a person or a thing that causes great trouble or suffering. And when you get that word for amendment, it says, from the origin, Middle English, in its sense, improvement, correction. And the Lord's doing this to correct, for correction, man. And guess what? It's going to take death. Hey, for most people, man, it's going to take death for them to be corrected. For our people, Israelites, the 2/3, guess what? They're going to have to be corrected by death, by destruction. So it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So Yahweh Bashem Yahshai is the one who's sending all these things. So when you see, again, all these crises happening within America, guess what? The Lord is the one who's sending it. And guess what? The Lord's the one who controls the elites, because we understand the elites, they want all these things to happen so that they can move in with their new system. But guess what? Yahweh Bashmi Shai is the one who's putting the spear on the elites to make this happen. It says, yeah, the Biden administration has misled America with propaganda about the economy. It says the government's failure to address these issues, it says, is a betrayal of the American people. Instead of implementing policies that will stimulate job creation and support struggling industries, it says officials have chosen to ignore the warning signs. The result is an economy that is increasingly unstable, with millions of Americans facing unemployment, poverty, and uncertainty. Yeah, and that's only going to increase. It says the time for action is now. The government must stop misleading the public and start addressing the root causes of this economic crisis. This means implementing policies that support job creation, reduce inflation, and stabilize the manufacturing sector. It also means providing relief to struggling households and businesses, ensuring that they can weather the storm. Yeah, they're going to come with that. But guess what? They're going to come with that after that new system is in place. Once the MOTB is mandated, they're going to present, okay, this will help everything. This will fix the economy. This will help you, get a job. This will reduce inflation, will take away all debts from your account. Or, whatever temptations that they come with. Because, again, that's going to be our temptation. Once they mandate the mark of the beast, which is the RFID implant, the chip. Once they mandate the chip and it becomes mandatory, of course, first they're going to present to you, again, the so-called, they're going to deem it as benefits. Oh, it can do this for you, it can do that for you. It can help you with this, it can help you with that. Meanwhile, there's 100% ulterior motives behind it. And ultimately, it's set up, again, to make you an ultimate slave onto Esau and onto his system. But what the point is that really, this place is not going to come back. And Esau won't stop misleading, of course, with the deception. Esau Edom being the so-called white man, starting with the elite international bankers. Of course, they're after our people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Latinos. And Esau's been trying to be a hidden enemy, making it seem like he's not after our people, but which the scriptures say, and what his actions show that he's against our people. And anyways, the scriptures reveal him anyways. In Psalm chapter 83, we know that the other nations and Esau is against us. But what better enemy is there than an enemy that you don't even know is your enemy? He's a hidden enemy. So it says, verse 20, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Verse 20 of 2nd Ezra chapter 16. It says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And ultimately, we understand, of course, the heathen, they're not going to get it. But the 2/3, the Israelites, of course, the Israelites are commanded to repent. Obviously, with the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand this truth. So even though the Lord's sending these scourges for amendment, guess what? The prophets are breaking down to you that Lord's the one who's behind these trials and tribulations and troubles that are happening in the world, these judgments that are being sent out. Guess what? We're telling you that Yahweh Bashmi Shai is the one who's behind it. But our people won't pay no mind, man. Ultimately, they're gonna try to take heed once all hell breaks loose. The climax of everything kicks in. Then our people are gonna want to get right, but it's gonna be too late. It says verse 21 of 2nd Ezra chapter 16. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good sheep upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And technically, we're still in a time where things are cheap. Because again, It's gonna get a lot worse. You know, because hey, hey, the majority of people, you know, you're still able to go to the store, purchase, even though yeah, it is more expensive. But point is that you're still able to go to the food. I mean, go to the store and purchase food, purchase water, buy gas. But what the point? The time's coming where you won't be able to afford anything, and ultimately, the MOTB is going to be mandated. So if you don't have it, you won't be able to buy or sell anything at all within the system. So it says 2 Ezra chapter 16 and 22. Yes, or verse 21 it says, continuing on, or the latter part says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, because nobody's going to know what's happening. Even though, again, the message is out here, the word is out here, the truth is literally in your face. The prophets are out there on the highways and byways. Of course, you know, we're making these lessons. The Lord has it where the prophets, again, this word is going out there. You have videos being uploaded by the minute. So, again, the truth is here. But, again, it's going to take, or, you know, it's for our people to get, it's going to take it or, you know, all hell will pretty much have to break loose in order for our people to get it. And then they're going to want to listen. But guess what's going to be too late? Then they should know that a prophet have been among them. Yes, it says, and great confusion. Because nobody's going to know what's going to be happening. Only the elect, you know, the ones who had this word and took heed before all these things happened. Which, again, we're in a time where all these things are happening. But before the climax and when all hell really breaks loose, guess what? Only the elect are going to have the comfort, and they're going to be taken care of, and they're going to have the protection, and they're going to have the divine intervention within these times. It says, verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Exactly. So let's say, you know, you have your doomsday preps. You have, I don't know, 5 years of food, you know, prepped. Guess what? Who's to say that nobody's going to raid into your house and break into your house and kill you on the spot and, you know, take what you have? Or who's to say that martial law is not going to kick down a door and take you, you know, to a concentration camp, and you'll never be able to see your preps again? See? That's why it's important to have the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai and again to do the Lord's will and to do what the Lord said and again to serve Him, so that you're rewarded with His protection within these times. And ultimately, only the elect, they're gonna be able to, you know, they're gonna understand that and they're gonna do that. Of course, which us brothers we ought to be a part of. We're the hopeful elect. So yeah, that's the point. It says, yes, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets. It says, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music should be brought low. You know, that's the point, man. The grinding is gonna be low, and the grinders will cease. Meaning what? Again, Again, you know, everything's gonna be shut down. Martial law is gonna be in effect. Everything will be shut down. You won't be able to work. It's gonna be you know, again, it's going to be a lockdown that we have never seen. It says, Isaiah chapter 19 and 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which a head or tail, branch or rush may do. Yeah, and that's what's coming, man. It says, in that day Egypt shall be, or it says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto woman. And it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the head, or of the hand of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Yeah, and there you have it, man. And hey, this chapter is real good. You know, goes into more. Or yeah, it's gonna be. It goes into more of what's gonna happen very soon. So it says, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5:4. It says, "But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you." Or we can start verse 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction." Or we can start verse 1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." It says, "For yourselves know perfectly that day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Yeah, and of course, as brothers within the truth, few sisters out there, we understand that the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. You're not going to be able to predict when the Lord's going to come back. He's going to come back when you least expect it, or when you're least going to expect it. Yeah, so it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Yeah, exactly. And once Yahweh once the Heavenly Father Yahweh sends back His Son Yahushai, again, it's gonna be like a thief in the night. You're not gonna expect it, and the Lord's gonna judge those who aren't a part of the elect. Are they going to be burned up by the nuclear missiles? You're going to be burned up by the chariots. You're going to be killed by, of course, what the angels, the 144,000, once they come down from the chariots. Guess what? That's coming, man. It says, "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day shall overtake you as a thief. You are all children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness." Yeah, so again, we already know that these things will happen. And we're getting right. We're preparing ourselves, of course, through the spirit power, Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. We're preparing ourselves spiritually and relying upon Yahweh Bashim Yahshai and trusting in the Lord that He's going to take care of us within these times and doing His will. It says, verse 6, "Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober." Yeah, staying, and how do we watch? What we watch by, of course, watching the current events. You know, constantly feeding the sheep, being sober-minded, not being, worldly-minded, being spiritually minded, having the mind of Yahushai, having the mind of the scriptures, having the mind of the scriptures, man, of Yahushai. It says, "For they that sleep in the night," or it says, verse 7 of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. It says, "For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night." Yeah, and that's definitely not, of course, as brothers. Again, we have the light, we have the truth. So we're not sleeping, we're awake. Of course, spiritually, meaning, again, we're able to see. And again, we have the truth. For those who don't have the truth, they're asleep. And once these things happen, guess what? They're not going to be able to. They won't be prepared. So yeah, I believe that's the point. Point is that it says Americans are unprepared for the coming collapse. Of course, Yahweh Bashim Yahshai has it where the elect will be prepared, mentally and spiritually. So Lord's will, you brothers are the edified. Yahweh Basmi Al Shai, Bashem Kakurash Thumb. Shalom.